Let's go! Adrenaline! Adrenaline! Running through my veins! Good morning, I'm Robin Banks, and welcome back to the Formula X1X Championship. The British Heart Foundation provides funding for research on all kinds of heart disease, defects and tech for the future, including mechanical hearts and transplants. It's a very close-to-home charity, so we support it all we can. And you can too. Just tap in via jeff.org.uk on your web browser, and please help in any way you can. Round 3, and we're in Spain at the circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia. With a long straight and a large variety of corners, the setting of the car can greatly affect the lap times here. For this reason, it's often used as a test track. The braking into turn 1 from the slightly descending home straight is a great spot for overtaking, and the final chicane is make or break for race wins. The track is 2.9 miles in length, with the longest straight of over 6 of a mile, and a total of 16 corners. In round 2, we witnessed another stunning performance from Rico Mortis, taking his second win of the season at Laguna Seca. It did not come easy, however. A legendary battle with Carlos Punterino and Artin Fenati ensued, and the gauntlets were officially thrown down. With a last lap overtake from Rico, putting Artin Fenati in second place, and Carlos Punterino completing the podium in third. I'll hand you over now to our ex-race driver and technical guru Dave Unshaw, who has been out in his car this morning doing our lap focus. Afterwards, Dave popped to the med bay for some eye correction therapy, which will force his eyes back to where they should be. How's it going, Dave? Many thanks, Robin! I'm hammering down the straight in 6th gear, building speed up to 181 mile an hour down towards the Elf corner. The entry to the Elf corner is downhill, and I'm getting on the brakes at the 100-meter board, and into the right-hander, 84 mile an hour 3rd gear, up to 4th, and around the left-hander, then into this long right-hander called Renault, 144 mile an hour 5th gear, building speed up to 165 mile an hour 6th, and then into the right-hander of Repsol. Very long corner indeed, 83 mile an hour 3rd gear, building speed with a short burst up to Sayat. Then 65 mile an hour 2nd gear into the left-hander, and hammering down the hill toward the bottom towards Worth. 89 mile an hour into Worth 3rd gear, clutching that curb as we go round and sliding over the sausage on the right-hand side. Up into Kamsa, 137 mile an hour through here 5th gear, and then building speed all the way down the straight to 167, 6th gear, slamming on the brakes at the light box, and into the left-hander, 45 mile an hour of Keksa, and up towards the back to Sebadell. 77 mile an hour 3rd gear around here, trying to hold that tight line, little bit of a short burst up towards Europe car, and 76 mile an hour 2nd gear down towards the RAC chicane, banging over curb 1, over curb 2, and down towards the New Holland corner. Very important to get this right, because this could be a potential race win. Absolutely brilliant track, Robin. The guys are going to love this very, very fast indeed. Good luck, guys. Many thanks, Dave. We'll see you in the commentary box shortly as we start to get underway for the 3rd round of the Formula X1X Championship in support of the British Heart Foundation. Our grid lineup today, and no surprise, on pole position is Damon Punterino. In 2nd place, Brian Messiah. In 3rd place, our championship leader, Rico Mortis. And in 4th place, Halen van Hedde. In 5th place, Alex Anders. And in 6th place, Carlos Punterino. In 7th place, Arti Fenati. And making a great 8th place on the grid for Simon Bouquet. Archie Angelo in 9th place, with Greg Rocket in 10th place, and Lydia Champagne rounding out the grid in 11th place. So as the cameras make their way down to the grid, the boys and the girls are lining up. Weather check giving us the info there at 30 degrees temperature ambient and track temperature 41 degrees. Engines are revving for the 3rd round of the British Heart Foundation Formula X1X Championship. On looking at Archie Angelo. Can he get a good start? Archie gets a good start, tries to get around Arti Fenati, but ends up on the grass, spinning those wheels like no tomorrow. David Punterino got a very good start, and it looks like Alexander's trying to get around Brian Messiah into Elf Corner. Rico Mortis in 4th place. Looks like Brian Messiah and Alexander's are getting off to a flying start. Helen Vanetti trying to get around Artie Fenati. That ain't happening. Rico slides up into... Rico slipped back to 5th place. Carlos Punterino must have dived up the inside of Rico. Round Repsol they go and down towards Sayat. Alexander's doing a great job here in 2nd place. Can he make this count? He's losing some grip out of that corner. You better watch that, Alexander's. Down towards Worth. Archie Angelo trying to fend off Artie Fenati. Looks like Archie had a good start off the grid from way back. Rico on the back of Carlos Punterino, trying to find a way around. Can he make it work? Breaking into the Cakeson corner, Carlos Punterino misses his braking zone and goes wide. Rico slips up the inside. Simon Bouquet hammering it down into Cakeson. On the exit, loses a little bit of traction there, letting Greg Rocket and looks like Lydia Champagne straight back through. That's put Bouquet in 11th place. He'll be kicking himself for that mistake. Into the RAC chicane and down towards the New Holland corner. Carlos Punterino getting all kinds of out of shape. Trying to get a good exit here. He's got Archie Angelo all over the back of him with Artie Fenati not too far away. Brian Messiah sliding in front of Alexander's down into the Elf corner. Lovely manoeuvre. Archie Angelo doing the exact same thing to Carlos Punterino. Slips up very nicely indeed up the inside into Elf. Hammering into Renault corner. The replay looks like Greg Rocket. Well, Greg spat out there and nearly went down pit lane. That was very, very close indeed. Blimey, he'll be kicking himself for that. David Punterino really pulling a gap out here now. Making a very, very big dash for this. On board with Halen Vanetti, chasing Carlos Punterino down into the Sayat corner. Very tricky corner, it's off camber there. Down to the bottom of the hill and into Worth. This is very, very hard here, folks. It goes right back on itself, and you need to take as much of the green stuff as possible. Into the right-hander they call Caps. Henny goes out a little bit wide, but he's right on the back of Carlos Punterino. Can he make a move down into Cakeson corner? Henny's late on the brakes. Carlos is also late on the brakes. Henny holding back a little bit not to cause an accident. Rico Mortis is on the back of Alexander's now. In through the RAC chicane. Alex is quick through here. Can he get a good exit out into the New Holland corner? Alexander's looks like he's spat out. Must have been quite heavy on the throttle. Did we get a replay? Let's see what happened there. Into the RAC chicane. Very tricky corner, folks. Yeah, too much gas too soon. Dave Earnshaw says it helps to knock it up a notch, going out of that corner into a slightly higher gear to give you more traction. Dave's just joined me in the commentary booth as we see Halen Vanetti trying to make a move on Carlos Punterino. Lovely move by Halen Vanetti, Dave. Classic textbook that is into Elf. Halen did a fantastic manoeuvre there, nice and clean. Didn't even just saw brushed past Carlos Punterino. Lovely. Yeah, as I was saying to Robin, it kind of helps coming out of that chicane into New Holland if you just like bang it into 3rd gear dead very quick, and then just you can get on the gas as hard as you want. Then you haven't quite got the same acceleration, but you don't spin the car up either. So it can be quite rewarding to get out there. And it obviously helps your tyres as well. I suppose it would, Dave. The less spinning up you're doing when you're accelerating out of the corners, it would definitely help your rear tyres for sure. Absolutely. You've got to make these tyres last for this race. And hello, folks, by the way, I'm back. I'm glad to be back here in Spain with... last time we was here, I think we was in the Jenny Tillwalk Cup, weren't we? Yep, we was in the Jenny Tillwalk Cup. I tell you what, Dave, Archie Angelo's looking quite promising this round. He's all over the back of Artie Fenati there. Archie looks good this round. I'll tell you what though, Alexander's will be absolutely furious with that mistake there. That really cost him, that did. He'll do what he always does and pick himself up, dust himself off, and like you say, Robin, get going. I tell you what, Archie Angelo really wants this today. He isn't giving Artie Fernardi an edge there, Dave. I'll tell you what, you would think that he would never make a move around the outside, but when he goes down into Sayat, that'll put him right on the inside. As long as he manages to keep up, level with Artie Fernardi, he's got the inside line now. Very clever move by Archie Angelo, that is. That just shows, the skill he has as a driver. Yeah, much respect. I tell you what, I did look at that and think to myself, he's no way is he ever going to make a move around there, Dave. But you were dead right. He was on the inside going into Sayat, and that really, really helped. And obviously he's now pulling a gap on Artie Fernardi. I've watched Archie in practice, and I'll tell you what, he's got some good pace here today. He could do well. I know you think quite a bit of Archie Angelo, Dave, but he is promising. He just needs to string it all together, and he could be one of the top guys. He can, and I really like Archie. He's got absolute fire in his belly, and he's a lot younger than some of these drivers anyway, so that's probably half of it. But he has definitely got, he's definitely a promising driver. Just needs to tame it down a bit and, think about the race a little bit more rather than trying to go like the wind. I suppose though, you hit, as soon as those lights go out, you hit that hammer. It really is. I suppose you don't. Can you think straight, Dave? It's all adrenaline, and you have to kind of. How does it work? You're dead right. It is all adrenaline. You are sat there. There's the team's reputation at stake. Your reputation at stake. Lydia Champagne span out. That was really disappointing there. Sorry to see that. As I was saying, you've got your reputation at stake. You've got to gain focus, and you've got to think about what's going to happen. And with all the practice that you do, and getting to know when the tyres are going to go off, that sort of thing all helps. Really, really does. I know we say this 100 times, folks, but practice really does make perfect when you're on a long race like this. You need to know what's going to happen to the car as you get further and further into the track, and you need to know when to take it steady and when to give it hell for leather, I suppose, Dave. You can only give it hell for leather for so long before you start going backwards. It's finding that balance, between going like a nutter and, if you're following someone, you don't have to sort of think about, right, where am I going to overtake him? You can think, right, I'll sit here and I'll follow him for, however many laps it is, and just see what happens. Yeah, but that's easy to say if you're, at the front of the grid, Dave. But if you're at the back, you kind of have no choice but to, push as hard as you can to try and, get yourself up to the front. You're absolutely right, Robin, and that's the other downside, that's where qualifying comes in. You've got to get yourself, towards the front of the pack, and you've got to be able to stay there. I suppose that would be even harder still. You do well in qualifying, you get to the front, and then it must be absolutely intense pressure, Dave. Oh, definitely. You think about it. You've flown to the front, and you've got 10, 15 cars behind you, all wanting to be where you are. Yeah, it is pressure like you wouldn't believe. I know Hansoff was saying that they had to tweak the tear-off underpants software a little bit because, as the pressure mounts in this championship, they kind of get a lot of false fires, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I heard that, looks like Archie Angelo's going to make a move into Elf Corner around Artie Fernardi. What a lovely McLean move that was. I told you, I've got high hopes for Archie Angelo. He's going to come good, I can see it. He looks like he's got his head together a bit this time. As you were saying, Dave, about the tear-off system. Yeah, I was about to say, the pressure is that much that you're getting false fires because it's not an accident that's causing the tear-offs to, fire out. It's the pressure of the drivers, that you are in there cacking it, literally. I tell you what, Dave, Archie Angelo's pulling a gap on Artie Fernardi already. Rico Mortis is closing in on Brian Messiah too. Do you think Rico will have another crack at this, Dave? Of course he will. You know, he's not going to sit there, you know, and just let them have it, that's for sure. They've had, you know, Brian's a double champion as it is. Rico could be the first triple champion, but I don't think he'll be the last triple champion, that's for sure. But it would be nice to see, you know, some of the other drivers make their way up to the front of the pack, but then, you know, at the end of the day, we know we can't all be at the front of the pack. Well, that's it exactly, Dave. You know, there's always got to be, you know, mid-pack, and then the people at the back of the pack. That'll always happen no matter who you are or where you are. I'll tell you what, though, Rico is looking smooth. He really is, and he's, you know, he'll be thinking to himself, right, I'm going to just sit here for a minute and see if I can catch Brian Messiah, which ain't no easy feat. Old Carlos seems a little bit off pace today, Dave. Is he, you know, is Carlos okay? I think that Carlos was actually on the, what you say, razzle with Paddy Fitzwendy last night, I believe. I know, I heard stories of them on the pool table jiggling around in their birthday suits, swinging their underpants around their fingers like a baseball. I can just see it now, I tell you folks, Paddy Fitzwendy, he is an absolute... You know, I know we call him a Saturday night guru, and he really is, I tell you. He's got some of these drivers into trouble already. Rico makes a move up the inside of Brian Messiah, nice and clean. Into back to Sabadell they go. Looks like Archie Angelo's trying to fend off Artie Fanati. Archie now in 4th place. Fantastic stuff, Dave. I tell you, it's great to see Archie at the sharp end of the stick. Artie Fanati and Alan Van Eddy's ain't doing a bad job either following this. I tell you, this is a freeway scrap in a minute. I can see this going, you know, going absolutely viral. Is the exit of the RAC chicane as hard as it looks, Dave? I'll tell you, that chicane, you come in here and you watch Rico now, you either bang this first curb, oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware of our camera crew who are operating in the crowd area for television and safety purposes. Last week, they caught several spectators on camera doing number 2s against the electric fence. There will be an identity parade to find the arseholes who got severely singed during the maneuver. Thank you. Oh my God, Dave. Does that really happen? I'll tell you what, I saw some of the footage of that, and there was one hell of a crack. One I saw, one bloke was delivering the package. I'll tell you what, the flash from the fence as that jumped across from the, you know, the wire to the, well, what you call bodily solids, and that bloke, he literally jumped like a kangaroo. You couldn't see who it was because of all the smoke. Why the hell don't people go to the loo round here? I do not know, you know, in the proper place where it's nice and safe. That you know, that fence, you walk past it and you could hear it buzzing. And, you know, on some foggy mornings, you know, you can sort of see blue flashes going through the mist. Do you think it might be a little bit too high voltage, Dave? Well, it might be, but, you know, these are supposed to be crowd control specialists. So, you know, they must know what they're doing. Great to see Greg Rocket still running around in that beautiful red and yellow car. We really like that one, don't we, Dave? We do, we really do. Greg's car always makes us feel hungry whenever he drives past. Alan Van Eddy chasing down Archie Angelo. Artie Fanati's pulled a little bit of a gap in 4th place. Halen trying to make a move into the Repsol corner. Down towards the off-camber downhill Sayat. Can Halen get around? Archie Angelo takes a defensive line. Shoots around the corner, loses a little bit of traction on exit, but Halen keeps it nicely planted. Down towards the Worth corner, clipping that curve, running almost over that sausage, and getting a really good exit down the back straight. Hammering all the way down towards Cakeser, which is a really, really sharp left-hand turn, Dave. That is really sharp, and you've got to, you know, I sort of... When I was going around here, oh, Alan Van Addy's losing a bit of traction there. That could have been, could have span him round. He did well to hang on to that. Oh, he's gone off track now. He got dirty tyres there. That would do it. Carlos Puntorino gets that position back. Slips back up into 6th place. Alan's got very dirty tyres. You better let that scrub off before he pushes it out of this chicane. It could happen all over again. Artie Fenati now in second place. Some of the drivers have pitted. Can Artie capitalise on this long run, Dave? He could if he times it right. He could very well do all right out of this. Depends how, his pace is not too bad. I would say some of the other drivers are cooking it a little bit hotter than that, but he could benefit with this if he can just hold those times. I know Artie was putting in a bit more practice yesterday and today, trying to prepare himself for this. He really enjoyed the Laguna Seca battle against Rico. He told me that. Oh, we all enjoyed that, and Carlos as well. He was in the mix on that scrap. That was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, legendary that was. Loved it. Ryan Messiah in first place, Dave, doing a great job this round. All he got to do is keep his head, keep the feet the right way up and on the grey stuff. Yeah, that would probably help. Yeah, no doubt about that. Damon Puntorino's back out of pits. He's got Rico. He's pulling a bit of a gap on Rico now and chasing Alex Anders, who's in third. Not sure if Alex missed his braking zone then or let Damon through. I'm not quite sure there. I think Alex probably missed his braking zone, so I don't think he'd have let Damon Puntorino through on purpose, Dave. You're probably right. Damon is... Alex is, a true racer. There's no doubt about that. Rico's right on the back of him now. Shoots into pit lane. Done that 11-lap stint. The other lads did 10 by the look of it. That will put Damon and Rico back into first and second place. Brian Messiah's still in the pits. Lydia Champagne back with us. It's fantastic to see Lydia on track. She had that technical last time out, was absolutely gutted. But she's back with us. Yeah, going around the track, mowing the grass and keeping the sound nice and flat, Dave. You cheeky bugger, if she hears you talking like that, you're going to get a slap, you are. No, she's doing a very good job. Lydia, Lydia's in a championship that's, very sort of, how you say it, male. So, hats off to Lydia. She's come in here. She's doing a great job, in my opinion. Balls would be made of steel if she had some. Simon Bouquet back in 8th place. Had that little misdemeanor at the start of the race, but is managing to pull himself back together. Good is Simon. Always backing Rico up on the points. These boys are doing very well in the team championship now. They are starting to pull a little bit of a gap out. Rico, is, obviously had 2 wins and got back 50 points. If he can bring this one home as well, that will be really, really good for the team. And Simon's also, every few points that Simon adds to that is all good. Back with Greg Rocket being hounded by Lydia Champagne by the look of it. Lydia said, "Come here, I want that 10th place. I'm not being at the back this time, Mr. Rocket." I'll tell you what though, this is a hard track. It's not an easy track to drive. There are some really sort of, there's a reason they use this as a test track, and this is, why when you start doing a lot of laps around here, it is hard. It's hard to get, maintain pace, on some of these corners because they're just straight. The track does seem very flat, Dave. When I was out on my bike this morning, well, not this morning, it is the morning, but, earlier today, I'm sort of on. I normally ride around the track about sort of 7 o'clock in the morning, folks. Hang on a minute. We're on board with Archie Angelo chasing Carlos Puntorino, trying to make a move up the inside. Can Archie squeeze his way through? Carlos says no way. Although Carlos is swerving over the track a little bit, Dave. I know when the breath test blokes came out before the race, I know Carlos disappeared and came back a little bit later on. So yeah, he is swerving a bit there. I'll be, interested to know what the result would have been. Archie Angelo trying to hang on to the back of him, but Carlos pulling away, going a little bit wide. Up into the back to Sabadell. Up towards Europe car. Carlos Puntorino in the gravel trap. Manages to hold on to it. Archie Angelo just tucks himself neatly up the inside. Sorry, Dave, that just, Carlos is sliding around a bit. I suspect there will be a breath test at the end of this, because I'm sure as he went past then I could see a brown paper bag just by his left leg. Carlos is normally maybe Carlos has been taking, a few leaves out of Paddy's book, who says that, the odd swig now and again helps him keep his focus. I'll tell you though, doesn't Paddy onk of alcohol all the time? Yes, he does, and I'm quite glad that I don't smoke, Dave, because I do think if I walked past Paddy, he would go up in flames. Let's hope Carlos doesn't carry on with Paddy's suggestions. So we're at the halfway point in the race, folks. So let's go down to the pit lane and have a word with the man himself, Paddy Fitzwendy, our ex-alcoholic and Saturday night guru. How's it going, Paddy? Many thanks, Robin. I'm down here in pit lane talking to Rubber Johnny. My name is Johnny Rubert. What is wrong with you? You look like you're swaying like the tree in the wind. Pull yourself together. I think you'd better put that cigarette out. We could both go up. Sorry, Johnny. They keep putting the feckin' surname before the first name, and I keep telling them not to. I'm sure they think it's funny. Pellets. I'll have another word. Anyway, Johnny, here is the head of recruitment for the potential drivers for the championships. I suppose you would be called a talent scout. I was scouting some talent last night, I can tell you. We is the answer to your question. I am in charge of bringing the lambs to the slaughter, as it were. What is it that you look like? What is it that you look for in the potential candidate? Well, firstly, we take a long-hard look at them. If they don't look like they're wired right, and the doors are open, lights are on, but nobody is home, that's a good start. Don't forget, we are looking for something really special. What, like some kind of spark? The spark would be good, but not essential. And secondly, I would ask them to show me which is left and right by a series of hand gestures scored out of 10. Getting it right is good, no? Well, I always say if you know your left from your right, you've not had enough. And lastly, I will ask them to perform the up-yours maneuver in the car on the track. And if they manage to get it perfect every time and send it up flawlessly, that's exactly what we're looking for. Nice and clean. So does talent as a driver and, great character play a part in this selection? No, not at all. Do you think we are stupid? We are looking for the dregs of humanity. Sounds like I could become a race driver too, Robin. Sounds like they've got everything covered. Back to you. Many thanks, Paddy. And yes, if you laid off the old moonshine a bit, you could probably have a go in what about your Reliant Robin, Dave? I wouldn't let him drive my wheelbarrow, let alone my Reliant Robin. You know, I still have my championship Reliant Robin. My championship Reliant Robin, not my championship Reliant Robin. I think I know what you mean, Dave. I've heard that you have it in your lounge, is that right? Yep, it's all polished up and on its own little podium. Yep, love that car. Had great times in that car. Do you think you could, have a go in this championship then, Dave, with these guys? Well, after my, my lap focus times, I think I've been doing pretty good, to be honest. I've been, not so far away, considering I'm used to 3 wheels and not 5. Why do you say 5, Dave? There's only 4 wheels on the car. Ah, now that's where you're wrong, because there's the steering wheel. Yeah, that's very funny. Okay, Rico is in second place, folks, chasing Damon Punterino, who seems to have cleared off into the distance again. Obviously done that, their pit stops on fresh tyres, and Damon's having another go at thrashing out one hell of a gap. Damon will be doing all he can to make that gap as big as possible, and he'll try and keep his pace up, but it doesn't look like he's that far away from Rico. I'll tell you what though, keep calling him Alex. Archie is still in 4th place on lap 17. I've got my fingers crossed. Come on, my boy. Well, yes, he's in 4th place, but don't forget, he's got an intoxicated Carlos Punterino chasing after him, Dave. I'll tell you what, Carlos might well be intoxicated, but he's still in 5th place, so he's doing well looking out of that one eye. When you say one eye, Dave, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Well, when you've had a real skinful, you just, everything looks like it's all crossing together. Like when you've been driving one of these cars for a bit and that centre post makes your eyes go all boz-eyed. That's what having a right skinful looks like. So if you shut one eye, you don't get double vision. Does that make sense? So you're saying that if your nistas are pute, as it were, and you close one eye, you kind of cancel out the feeling of being nistas are pute. Is that what you're saying, Dave? Well, it worked for me quite a few times when I used to have a bit of a skinful after I'd won a race or a championship. Artie Fernati is in the slipstream of Carlos Punterino down towards the Elf corner. Can Artie... Oh, he looked a little bit closer than that, Dave. He's a little bit further back than I thought he was. Yeah, the camera has a bit of a weird angle there. It does look like he's right on the back of him, but he's probably about 3 or 4 car lengths back. But Artie is definitely closing on Carlos now into Repsol. Down towards Sayat. Yep, definitely. He's going to look up a move in here in a minute. Do you think he'd dare try and make a move past Carlos, Dave? He is swerving about a bit. I do know, you say, they're on about that they, get them to show that they know their left from their rights. Do you know what I saw the other day? And I have never seen that before. I haven't got a clue, Dave, but I'm suspecting it's something weird. It was very weird. I'm sure... Hello, looks like Carlos Punterino let Artie Fernati through then. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe taking another swig, who knows? I saw on the gloves of Damon Punterino, he had an L on the left hand and an R on the right hand. So I would imagine that when he's going around the track, he knows which is left and which is right. You know what? I'm not sure I trust you, Dave Unshaw. You don't half come out with some corkers sometimes. There's no way in hell David Punterino would have L and R on his gloves. Well, like I said, that's what I thought I saw. It might not have been that, but it looked like it. I know one thing, folks, that is for certain. Rico Mortis is all over the back of David Punterino now. This is lap 19. Rico is right on the back of David. He must have caught him up, because David had pulled at least a 4-second gap on Rico. And this looks like this is going to be a fight for the win, Dave. It does, but there is still a pit stop coming up, because they're going to probably do two stops, I would think. So I know they both went in. No, hang on a minute. Yeah, both went in on lap 10, and I think, I'm not sure if Damon went in on lap. Well, they ain't gone in for the second one yet. So yeah, they would probably be going in, I'd imagine, lap 21, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Rico is right on the back of him down towards Alf as he makes a move. Slips very nicely up. No, Damon Punterino is not letting him back through. Damon is going to fight for this. There's no doubt about that, Robin. It does look that way, Dave. Damon Punterino is not having Rico get a hat trick. There is no way about this. This is going to be one hell of a finale here. Rico doing all he can to try and stick with Damon, but Damon looks like he's losing a bit of grip here and there, Dave. I would imagine that Damon clearing off into the distance might have cost him a little bit in tyre wear, but, Damon's really good on he's getting better and better on worn tyres now. On board with Rico Mortis chasing Damon Punterino. This is a sight for sore eyes. Damon doing all he can to fend off Rico. Hammering around Kamsa in the slipstream of Damon Punterino down towards Kamsa. Can he get it done? Touches, they make contact a little bit there. Rico doing all he can to try and not upset Damon's flow and not knock him off track. Rico thinks about a lunge up the inside. Can he do it? Rico Mortis slips nicely up the inside of Damon Punterino and blocks his exit into the Europe car. Down into the RAC chicane. Can he just hold it through? Because Damon's very quick through here. Rico gets the job done. Rico goes in the pits. Damon staying out for another lap. Will this be the deciding factor now, Dave? This is holding up to be one hell of a finale. What's going to happen here? Rico's gone in. That means Damon's out for one more lap. So I would imagine as Rico comes back around, Damon will be just coming out of the pits. So they're going to be almost back together for the last 10 laps, I would have thought. This could be just like Laguna all over again. Alexander's maintaining that 8th place behind Halen Vanetti at 7th. Carlos Puntarino's gone in the pits. Alexander's giving it all he can. He's got, 10 laps to go now, Dave. 10 laps to go, and, time to, it's make or break now. Simon Bouquet coming down into the 11th corner. Simon in 7th place. This could be a good result for Mr. Bouquet. Saturday and the girls will be up in their seats shouting, "Come on, Daddy." I can see it now, Dave. It is nice. He gets a lot of support from his family. Hoping one day he'll become champion, and I expect he is as well. We will see. That really would be something, Dave. I'm sure we would all enjoy this. I'd love to see that. All the drivers on this grid would really like to see a lot of the, not so fast drivers come through, that's for sure. Lydia Champagne, as Dave says, dead right. I'll tell you what though, Dave, she's not such a big fan of this track, but she does love Brands Hatch, which is coming up next. Yeah, she does. She said that to me a few times, that she can't wait for Brands Hatch, and I really hope she does well there. That'll be fantastic. Do you think Rico will keep up this, this attack, Dave? And if he wins here today, that would be a hat trick. And do you think he will continue that into Brands Hatch? Because I know it's not one of his favourite tracks. I have no idea, Robin. Will he win today? I don't know. Damon Puntarino's putting up one hell of a fight, and he ain't going to let it go easy. I know that. But I know when we did the Ginny Tillwalk Cup at Brands, Rico crashed twice, and I think he came in, at the back of the grid, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was a really tough round for Rico, I know that. But then Brands Hatch is so easy to make a mistake, and it could cost you dearly. Oh, definitely. When I used to race there in the Reliance, I used to go into Paddock Hill Bend on 2 wheels. And if I come out of there on the side, that was really costly indeed. Rico Mortis has caught up with Archie Angelo, who's probably going to go in the pits anytime soon, I would think. Looks like Archie's losing a bit of grip. Rico's desperately trying to get past and create a gap between him and, David Puntarino. Will Rico get past down into the Capsa turn and leave a little bit of a gap, leave Archie Angelo between him and David Puntarino? Rico's going to have a good go, try and go up the inside. Going around the outside now, slips in there very nicely. David Puntarino forces his way through. He looked like he actually went up the inside of Archie Angelo there, Dave. That was very creepy indeed, and I'm sure Archie would have felt that. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, sometimes they could send it too far up the inside, that's for sure. Damon Puntarino now, he's got Rico, he's got what they got now, they got 8 laps to go. He is going to try and get, he's taking a hell of a shortcut there, that would have cost him a penalty for sure. He did definitely take a hell of a chunk out of that corner, that's for sure. I would imagine that Race Direction would be having a word about that. Oh, they're giving him a penalty. Yeah, Porto. That little misdemeanor also gave Rico a little bit of breathing space there as well. I'll tell you what, the question is here now is, I'm sure Damon is going to catch Rico, and this could be the end of Rico's reign of terror. If Damon can, this would be, to be honest, it would be great to see Damon Puntarino take the win here. He does have extremely fast pace here, Dave. He qualified on pole, he set the fastest lap in practice. And I would imagine, I haven't seen his score sheet yet, but I would imagine he set the fastest lap in the race as well. And let's not forget, you get an extra point for pole and an extra point for fastest lap too. So, it's all good points in the bag. Greg Rocket in 10th place. I tell you what, Dave, it is really great to have Greg in the championship. He's, when I spoke to him a couple times, and he is a really, really nice guy. He's got an incredible accent too. I love the way he talks. It's absolutely fantastic. I totally agree with that, Robin. I've talked to Greg quite a few times, and he sounds to me like a Hollywood film star. He's got a really, really nice accent. He really has. He is a very nice guy. Alexander's chasing Artie Angelo, his teammate. The two cars of the British racing team hammering down the straight towards the Elf corner. Halen Van Eddie's in 6th place and Brian Messiahs looks like he's in 3rd now. Be a good result for Brian. Bring it home in 3rd. Very good bag of points. Any top 5 result is always good for points. Definitely, you know, and obviously podiums really do, you know, give the drivers, you know, more confidence. You know, it's great. You know, get on a podium, fantastic. Everybody loves that. Alexander's will be keen to hang on to the back of Archie. Back with Brian Messiah, running in 3rd as we just spoke. Sliding over those curbs, bagging those sausages. Not frightened of bagging the odd sausage, Dave. Yeah, it takes a lot of guts sometimes to attack some of these sausages. They are very, very menacing indeed. We're on lap 25, folks. We have 6 laps to go to decide who is this, the winner of race 3 of the British Heart Foundation Formula X1X Championship. Can Rico Mortis make it 3 in a row? Can Damon Punterino deny him of that 3rd victory? We will see. All will be revealed very soon. Damon Punterino, that looked like Lydia Champagne got off track there, but Damon Punterino is literally on the back of Rico Mortis now. Can Damon make that gap, Dave? This is going to be very exciting indeed. On board with Damon Punterino. Down into Cakeser. Can he get that all-important exit here without spinning it up? That corner's just as bad as coming out of the chicane.
Ladies and gentlemen, the camera crew operating in the crowd area have now found the offending culprits who was doing number 2s against the electric fence. The arseholes have been officially recognized and will be dealt with accordingly. Please use the track toilets properly and not take shortcuts. It could cost you your life. And don't forget to give all you can to the Crispin Fry Rehabilitation Fund. It's a very worthy cause, I can assure you. So far we have found 50 pence, so let's keep it going. Thank you.
Yeah, did I hear that right, Dave? He just said that they had found 50 pence. I'm surprised he got that, to be honest with you. I know he found it. Nobody actually donated anything to him. A pillock gets on my wick. And he is supposed to have, like, a really high IQ. Anyway, Dave, this is hotting up now. David Punterino is starting to close the gap on Rico Mortis. David really, really wants this. And Rico really doesn't want to give it to him. Up they go towards the back to Sabadell. Only would take one mistake from Rico now to give it all away and let David Punterino take that win. What will be going through Rico's head now, Dave? And of course, what will be going through David's head? Rico will be thinking, you know, whatever happens, just keep it smooth. You know, I know full well that Rico will be thinking 2nd place is better than being 10th after a crash. So you'll just try and keep it smooth. Try not to lose the rear of the car and spin out. Just, you know, keep it together and try and make sort of Damon Punterino burn what's left of his tyres out, because that's the only way he is gonna bring this home. I suppose that could happen. So what would Damon be thinking now then, Dave? Damon will be thinking exactly the opposite. He'll be thinking, look, I'm going to give it all I've got. We've got, 4 laps now left. I'm just going to go for it. And Damon's got that fire in his belly now. You can see that he's like a fire-breathing dragon behind Rico. And he's probably praying for Rico to make a mistake. We've also got a bit of a battle with Artie Fedati chasing Carlos Punterino, who is in a staggering 4th place, Dave. That's really, really good for Carlos, considering the state he's in. Well, and I'll tell you something, if Carlos can drive in the state he's in like this, there's no wonder he's a double champion, because without that state, he is absolutely rapid. There's no doubt about that. He is a very, very fast guy indeed. Rico and David Punterino hammering out of the New Holland bend down the main straight. David Punterino is right behind Rico Mortis. Can he take this away from Rico? With 3 laps to go, David slips up the inside down towards the elf corner. Can he make it stick? Very lovely move by David Punterino. He's got it. He's going to try and pull a gap now in these last few laps and leave Mr. Mortis standing. He is already a couple of car lengths now. He's pulling this out. This could be David Punterino's first win. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the edge of our seats here. This is going to be one hell of a finale. It's brewing up. Me and Dave are almost stood up here looking out of the window as David Punterino loses a little bit of grip coming out of the Zayat corner. Rico's not letting him get away though, Dave. He is right on him. Firing into that really fast right-hander and down the back straight. Down towards the Gexa corner. Rico is not letting David Punterino get away. Doing all he can. Rico made a bit of a mistake there, Dave. He looks like he lost a bit of grip coming out of that corner. He's got to really watch it now. He could push a little bit too hard and this could go horribly wrong. And same for Damon Punterino. One slip up now, and that's your race. Oh, Damon is definitely losing a bit of grip here on tyres. Has Rico got anything left? Rico is definitely not letting Damon Punterino get away as he slides up the outside. Side by side down towards the elf corner. Rico slides in front of Damon Punterino. Looks like Rico's pulling one hell of a gap already there, Dave. He is really, really on fire now. Looks like Damon's, losing a bit of grip here and there. He may well have done his tyres in, I don't know. He may have something left. We will have to wait and see. Artie Fernati is trying to follow suit. Slipping down in the slipstream towards the elf corner, down the hill. Can he get Carlos Punterino on the brakes? Is he going to go for the move? Doesn't look like it. Slides up the inside of Carlos Punterino. Very nicely done by Artie Fernati. What a move that was, Dave. That's a classic elf corner overtake that was. That was absolutely superb by Artie Fernati. He just flew around there like a leaf in the wind, he did. Archie Angelo's in 6th place. He's also chasing Carlos Punterino. Can Archie get himself a little bit further and further up the field and get that all-elusive top 5? Had a podium at the Nürburgring in the Jenny Tilward Cup, I believe. That was a podium cup, sorry. Let's not forget he was Carlos Punterino's teammate. Slides around Carlos Punterino like he was stood still. Brilliant move by Archie Angelo. That's put him in 5th place. Can he bring it home, though? Down the back straight. Pulling a hell of a gap on Carlos. Maybe his tyres are shot. Most of them's tyres will have gone off now. Can Archie get up to Artie Fernati and take that 4th place away? That's what I'm thinking now, Robin. You were dead right, Dave. Archie's coming good. He's definitely at the sharp end of the stick this round. So good to see. I knew it would come. He's just got to keep this form now for the rest of the championship and get himself up into the top 5. Archie loses grip, slides out, almost goes down pit lane. Oh my word, that's put him back in 6th. I tell you what, Dave, I saw the tear-offs fire off into the crowd there. That was a hell of a moment for Archie Angelo. Halen Banetti in a British Racing Team sandwich. Alexanders goes for the manoeuvre. Goes around up the inside of Halen Banetti. Gets the job done, putting Halen back in 8th place. They are desperately trying to get back up to the back of Carlos Punterino. Absolutely fantastic racing here, Dave. This is what it's all about. Absolutely loving this. Brilliant stuff. These guys are putting on a fantastic show. Alexander's all kinds of out of shape. Could have lost it there, could have given that position back to Halen Banetti, who's definitely not letting Alex get away. They flick around the corner there like it was nothing. Down the back straight they go. Halen could get another position here if he gets it done. We're almost on the final lap. Can he do it? He's got to get him through Bank de Sabadell, and then he's got the chicane and New Holland gets a good run out of New Holland down the main straight, he could get him down into 11th. Alex will be hoping that he doesn't make a mistake out of this chicane again. Archie Angelo sliding up the inside of Carlos Monterino out of the New Holland bend. Carlos must have made a mistake coming out of the chicane, and that let Archie Angelo through. They are swerving all over the road trying to stop Carlos getting past. That's what you call defensive driving, Dave. Looked like Archie was panicking a bit there, and he saw that and he thought, I'm not letting him have this back. That's put me up into 5th. Top 5 for Archie. Come on, my boy. We're on the final lap. Carlos Punterino is doing all he can to try and get that position back, but I don't think Archie Angelo is going to yield. Around Repsol they go and down towards Sayat. Archie Angelo pulling out a little bit of a gap now. Down into Sayat, down the hill. Rico Mortis coming around the New Holland corner for the final time. Takes the 3rd win of the season. A hat trick for Mr. Mortis. Well done. David Punterino with a fantastic 2nd place. He put up one hell of a fight, Dave. And Brian Messiah coming around into New Holland for the final time for a number 3 on the podium. Well done, Brian Messiah. Artie Fanati in a solid 4th place. Great to see Artie back up in 4th. He's doing good. He's coming good. I said he would. Archie Angelo gets top 5 with Carlos Punterino in 6th, and Alex Sanders makes a brilliant 7th. What a recovery that was with Halen Manetti in 8th place. Simon Bouquet takes 9th with Greg Rocket in 10th, and Lydia Champagne coming up and bringing up the rear in 11th place. You made it, Lydia. That was one hell of a challenge. We all know that. She's using as much of the scenery as she can on the final lap, crossing the line in 11th place. So that's the end of round 3, folks. So let's take a look at the race results. In 1st place, Rico Mortis. In 2nd, Damon Punterino. 3rd place for Brian Messiah. And 4th for Artie Fanati. 5th for Archie Angelo. 6th for Carlos Punterino. 7th for Alex Anders. 8th for Halen Van Eddy. And 9th for Simon Bouquet, with Greg Rocket in 10th and Lydia Champagne in 11th place. So let's take a look at the podium. On the top step for the 3rd time with another fantastic win was Rico Mortis, with Damon Punterino putting up one hell of a fight in 2nd place, and Brian Messiah finishing the podium in 3rd place. So let's take a look at the championship results after round 3. In 1st place with 75 points is Rico Mortis. In 2nd is Carlos Punterino on 49 points, and Damon Punterino also on 49 points. 4th place for Brian Messiah with 43 points, and 5th place for Artie Fanati with 42. 6th for Halen Van Eddy on 28 points. 7th for Alex Anders on 28 points, and also Archie Angelo, his teammate, on 28 points. 9th for Simon Bouquet on 14 points, with Greg Rocket on 12, and Lydia Champagne with 5 points. So let's take a look at the team table. In the top spot is Team Kawasaki on a whopping 89 points, with Team Ada Sunoco on 71 points, and the British Racing Team on 56 points. Team Tiger on 51 points, with Team Alien on 46, and Team Affinity Racing on 42 points. Well, that's it, folks. In a fortnight's time, we broadcast again from the UK at the Brands Hatch GP circuit in Kent for round 4. But for now, from me, Dave, and the team, thanks for watching, take care, and goodbye.
Let's go!